Hey, have you considered using a nominee trustee and setting up a land trust to protect your identity? Well, you're going to want to watch this video because if you're going to set that up, you have to make sure you ask for what I'm going to be talking about in this video, or else you could run into problems. All right, let's get started. All right, so here's the thing. The reason I wanted to cut this video is I got a question on my YouTube channel, and it really came from one of the viewers that asked this. He said, listen, I have a few properties in a land trust with an attorney as a trustee. When I asked for a resignation letter and a trustee deed to appoint my LLC as a successor trustee, they emailed me that if they resign as a successor trustee, they will have to immediately record a trustee declaration that this limited liability company is now the trustee of the land trust. And they wanted me to sign it. So my name would now be on the public record. So somebody could then, of course, search the title of the property and they would see my name listed there. Now, he wanted to know, why was that person doing that? Well, if you're unfamiliar with land trusts and how they work, what he did was this. He created a land trust and he was working with an attorney, a law firm, to do this. And so here's the attorney up here as the nominee trustee to protect his identity. And this individual took this property and he deeded it into the name of the trust in care of that nominee trustee. And of course, the individual's down here as the beneficiary. Now, when he set this up, one of the things that the way it was set up is that this attorney did not resign. The attorney stayed on as the trustee of the trust. So that's a problem right there. Whenever you set up a land trust and you're using a nominee trustee, like an attorney, I'm on thousands of trusts as a nominee trustee. You want to make sure that when the property is deeded into the trust, that this person resigns their position. You see, that did not occur in this scenario right now. So this trustee is still on there as the acting trustee. And in fact, in the trust document itself, it should state that when this person resigns, you are named as the successor trustee, or maybe your limited liability company, as was the case here in this question that was posted on my YouTube channel. So why is this person unwilling to resign or pushing back? Well, obviously, as I told the individual posed the question, I said, listen, this is how they're making money. Because if you read further into their comments, they stated that they will no longer be listed for tax purposes, and everything would have to be sent to the client, and that they're going to step off. And so by staying on there, what they've been doing is they were charging this individual $350 a year to serve in that position. And so they're pushing back because they don't want to lose that money. And that's why they're saying, hey, your information is going to be up there if you force us to do this. Well, that is just BS, okay? Because that person can resign their position, and you do not need to update the state, or not the state, but the counter recorder when a trustee resigns. In fact, you shouldn't, because if you did do that, then you're going to blow your anonymity. So in my situation, when the trustee resigned, then you would be appointed as a successor trustee and your information would pop, and you just kind of then wasted money setting up this entire structure. So the way it should work is that the trustee resigns their position, and at that point in time, you receive the written resignation from that trustee, and you receive an acceptance of trustee, where you accept that position as the trustee of this trust. But that information remains private. Now, that trustee who originally was set up as your nominee trustee, they have no ongoing obligation or duties to you or that trust. And so when this attorney law firm said, oh, they had an obligation and they have to put his name up there, again, it's more scare tactics. They have no obligation. I've dealt with this before. I've had people, or a law firm one time was attempting to foreclose on a land trust or an asset, land held inside of a land trust in Riverside County, California. And the attorney law firm that was representing the plaintiff contacted me, and I told them, hey, you served me, but tell you what, you don't have service of process on the trust because I'm no longer the trustee. And it really frustrated them to realize that the whole process they've been working towards just got shut down, and they have to restart it and figure out who the actual trustee is so they can perfect service of process. That's why you do this, right? Well, this attorney here, this law firm, was messing with this individual. So what you want to ask for every time you set up a land trust, if you're considering doing this, you want to make sure, number one, the trustee resigns as soon as the property, you've deeded the property to the trust. Number two, you want to make sure you get a trustee deed. Okay, so this is really important. You want that trustee's deed because the trustee's deed is what transfers the trusteeship from the nominee trustee to you. And so this is the document that the law firm was pushing on my client. I mean, drafting, it's one thing, but it's the recording. See, it was the threat that, hey, we're going to take away your anonymity and record this. That's what they were willing to do. They don't need to record this document. In fact, they shouldn't. The way I handle it here at Anderson is what we'll do is when we resign our position as trustee, or I resign my position, I then provide to the client a trustee's deed. And this deed is a recordable document. I tell them, keep this in your files until you need your name to appear on title to that property. Now, why would they ever need their name to appear on title as the trustee of this trust? Well, if they're going to sell it, that would be a good reason. Or if they want to refi. Well, even if with a refi, maybe they don't. Maybe they want to use me again. They can reappoint me to be their trustee to do the refi, and then I will resign again. I've done that before with clients. They appoint me back as trustee. We do the refi. I sign off on all the docs with the lender, except the promissory note, of course. And then after that's done and they get their money, then I resign again and reappoint the client. So there are two compelling reasons why you might want to put your name up there. Selling is most definitely one of them. So anyways, by having this trustee's deed, you keep it in your files, and when you're ready to disclose the fact that you're the trustee, you just go down the county recorder's office, you record that document, and it will put your name up there as a trustee of your trust. And this is what I find when people create land trusts with law firms or other individuals, they miss this one critical step. They use the nominee trustee, they're feeling really good about it, but then they need to do something, and that's where problems start because they do not have that trustee's deed. So make sure you ask for that whenever you're setting up a land trust. It is critical. Hey guys, if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button, and if you're not yet a subscriber to my channel, now's your time. Take care.